Hey guys, so today what I'm going to be covering is APA. I know that some of you might have used APA before and then the rest of you have no idea what APA is or how to use it. I know when looking at APA it might seem a little challenging at first, so that's why I want to do this and show you that it's pretty basic and I'm just looking for the basic things. When you first do a paper, I realize that you're not going to be an APA perfectionist and you're not going to have everything perfect. That's okay. I do not have everything perfect with APA. I still get confused. I still have to go back. Every single person who has degrees and uses APA, they have the APA manual right beside them. When I'm writing my papers for my doctorate degree, I use that book all the time. It's very important. So realize, you're in the normal if you don't know how to use the APA like an awesome person or like crazy, okay? So, what I've created is, I've created an APA workshop, and that's what we're going to go over today. I will have this video clearly posted to the website because you're here. I will also have this PowerPoint posted, and I will also have pages created. Now, I created this workshop, so I'm not going super in depth, or I might be missing a few things. So, if you need more questions, excuse me, if you need more questions, go ahead and you can look at other places, and I'll give you some sites and different things like that. So, here we go. Let's go into our APA workshop. Basic APA format. First of all, I just want to cover basic things. This is what I can tell right away from a paper if it's missing or not. You need to make sure that you are using Times New Roman 12-point font, double spaced, and it needs to be 1-inch margins all the way around. Now, realize, the 1-inch margins could change. Different publications might say, oh, we need 2-inch margins or different things like that. That's okay. But for now, we're going to use 1-inch margins, and that's basic APA format. If you're getting publicized or someone says that you need different formats for the journal or the book, different things like that, that's okay. But make sure for this class and for the most part, use 12-point font, Times New Roman, double space, 1-inch margins all the way around, okay? Now, moving on, headers. For headers in APA, you do not use footers. Again, if you're getting publicized, they might say, hey, you're going to use footers for this. That's a different story. But when you are not doing that and just writing a regular paper, it's headers, not footers. I'm going to show you two different things. One with the title page and one without the title page. Okay? So for your title page, you will have header. At the very top left corner, it will say running head. How I have right here. It says running head, colon. And then in all caps will be part of your title. On your title page, you will have your title. It could be like APA Workshop, a year in the works of following Professor Hubbard with, I don't know, something crazy, right? But then your running head will just say running head colon APA Workshop. Something like that, okay? And then in the top right corner, right over here, is nothing. Don't put anything here, okay? That's a big no-no. Running head colon, title in all caps, part of your title in all caps. Nothing over here. Now, moving on to a regular page, it will have your, in all caps over here, how you said part of the title in all caps, that'll be right over here. It just won't say running head. So it'll be the exact same thing, just not running head. Over here on the top right corner, it will then have your last name and the page number. Now, if you're in Microsoft Word, you can go and you can double click on the very top of the page. When you do that, one of the tabs will say headers and footers, okay? So look there and you can add page numbers that way. I would recommend adding the page number before you add anything else. Now, since your title page and your other pages are going to look different, there's a section when you're in that tab that says different first page. Click on that and it will make your first page be able to look different. A word of advice. Since I said everything needs to be Times New Roman 12-point font, when you highlight everything on your paper and you go Times New Roman 12-point font, your title pages do not get highlighted. I do not know why. It's a complaint I have against Microsoft Word, but that's how it is. That's just a hint. So make sure that you have that. Okay? So there's how you do headers. No footers. Headers, not footers. Okay? Now, moving on for your title page itself. For this class, you will only have a title page for a couple papers. If you wanted to use the title page for other papers, that is okay. But for your regular participation paper and all of that, I'm just expecting a basic APA paper, 12-point font, double space, Times New Roman, with your name on it. Okay? Make sure you have your name on it, and they'll just have a regular one-page thing. Okay? When you have your title page, like your speaker critique and other papers like that, I'm expecting a title page. Your title page will have the title on it, a couple spaces down, just like this, title, couple spaces. And it'll have your name, class's name, date, and teacher's name, okay? In the thing I have posted, here's the title page. Here's an example, okay? So remember, here's your running head. Nothing over here. Title, space, name, class, teacher, date, okay? Or date, teacher, whichever order you want to go in, it's fine with me. So there's that. That's how you do your title page. Again, you only use that probably for a few papers in this class, but for future reference, there you go. Now your abstract. You will not use an abstract in my class. I just want to have this up there for you just in case. So an abstract, here's some basic things. You're going to have the abstract, the word abstract centered, okay? And it's going to be centered, not bolded. No, it is going to be bolded. Apologize. And then you're going to start. And then off to the side, how you normally have words, you normally tab in. Do not do that with abstract. You just start. You'll have like a short summary about your paper. And then you will have something called keywords. And after the keywords, you will then click in italics. You will have 3 to 5 keywords that relate to your paper, okay? So someone searching for your paper in a library website or on Google, these keywords can help them look for that. Again, you should not do an abstract in my class, just in case you need to do it for other classes. Here it is. Moving on. For the main paper, and you will have your main title, and you'll also have subtitles, okay, and headings. You'll have your main title. It will be at the very top, center, not bolded, okay? That title will be the same title that is on your title page. You will then go and you will have the first heading. You might not use all 3 headings, but you might. If you're having a big paper, you probably will use all 3 headings. If you only have a 1-page paper, you might not use any headings, okay? So realize that. But headings are great because you can have some information and then it separates. So when you're reading, it's easier for your readers to read. And then you might have a subheading below that, and so it narrows your topic down. Just like if you do, let's say, an upside down pyramid, like right here, your headings are narrowing it down. So you would have your first heading, okay? And then your second heading. Your second heading still relates to your first heading, but not as much as it could, okay? But it still needs to relate. And then your heading 3, okay? So it just gets more narrow. It narrows your topic. So don't do a second heading that has nothing to do with your first heading. Because if it's out of place, it needs to be its own first heading and make its own, oops, that's a really bad pyramid, own pyramid, okay? Or pizza slice, whatever you want to make it as. Okay? So, but here's how you do the 3 headings. Okay? So first heading will be centered, bolded. Second heading will be to the left side, bolded. Third heading will be, you tab one in just like you're starting a paragraph. It will be the heading bolded, followed by a period, and then you start your regular sentence. Okay? So here's how you do headings. In the example paper, along with the title page, I have all of the headings here so you can see the examples of them. Heading 1, heading 2, heading 3. Here you go. It's right here for you. And it also has examples of the headers right there. So make sure you look at that. Going into reference pages, you will need to make sure that your reference page, which I also have an example for you right here, the word reference is centered, not bolded, okay? And then all reference needs to start 1-inch margin. So how you normally tab a paragraph, you won't do that with this one. Now you will do a tab, or it will indent is what it's called, not a tab. Use the little ruler at the top, don't tab stuff. But you can indent there if it's more than 1 line, okay? So if it's 5 lines, 2 lines, 20 lines, whatever. The very first one is a hanging indentation, okay? And it starts one end, or at 1 inch, and then it keeps going. If I need to go over and have a video how I'm using actual Microsoft Word, then we can do that. That's perfectly fine. And I can show you how I use to do the different page number and all of that. So references will be 1-inch margin and starts there, okay? Now when you're actually doing the in-text citations, you need to make sure that you follow what I have here, okay? So with that, in the paper, it will follow the sentence, so it'll be the very end of the sentence, unless you're saying like according to whoever, which I'll get to that. But it'll be the very end of the sentence, in parentheses, and then the period will follow the citation, okay? So if you're paraphrasing, meaning it's not direct word for word, you will do last name, comma, year of publication. That's all within the parentheses. If you're doing a direct quote, you will do last name, comma, year of publication, comma, P dot for page, and then the actual page number. If there are not page numbers and there's paragraph numbers, do PR for paragraph, okay? So that helps us know that we're looking in your viewers and your readers that it's not a page, we're counting paragraphs, not my pages, okay? So here's a few examples. I love Minions, by the way, so I have some Minion examples. Minions are found to be yellow, and then in parentheses, it's Hubbard, comma, 2017. So there you go for that one. That's paraphrasing. Or if you say something like, according to Hubbard, since you already have the name here, right after that, you put in parentheses the year of publication. Minions recording to be yellow. If that is a quote, so you end up quoting that, it will be the exact same thing for the most part. You'll have quotation marks around here, but you'll also add, instead of just Hubbard 2017, you will also add Hubbard 2017, comma, P, whatever, for the page number. Same here. According to Hubbard, and then in parentheses, 2017, comma, page number. Or you could also do, according to Hubbard 2017, end quote, minions are found to be yellow, end quote, another parentheses, P dot 2, if it's page 2, in parentheses, period. Okay? Now, I know that's a little confusing. In this, the second page of your work, I have it all listed here for you, okay? So I have different examples right here. Make sure you have in Times New Roman, Hubbard 2017, okay? Use these examples, please. Now, I also put in there some fun reminders, so go ahead and read it and it'll remind you about some of the things that we talked about today. Now, when you're actually citing the references, you will need a reference page. Look at the handout. For the handout that I have for the reference page, it has examples for a book, an article, and an online site, okay? And the article is like a newspaper article, journal article, different things like that. I actually told you what you need to find, such as author's last name, first initial, year of publication, okay? The book title, and italics. Look at how I'm doing it. Am I italicizing thing? Am I the capitalizations and all of that? When you go to the library's website is great, but realize that when they upload the news article or whatever, let's say they do it in 2007, they're using it according to APA then. APA updates, okay? So if APA has updated since 2007, which it has, then they're not going to go back and re-update it because that's millions of resources that they have to go update all of the time. So realize that once APA updates, the library stuff is great about finding information, but the italics and the quotes and all of that are going to be a little bit different. So make sure you pay attention to that. Look at how I did it there, or you can go to Purdue OWL or different things like that. Also, do not go to Citation Machine or something like that. They do not stay up with APA rules. They are great for when you do Citation Machine, you can then go and it's like, hey, look, here's a website and it pulls everything for you. It finds the author's name, it finds the title, it finds all this stuff for you. But it doesn't lay it out correctly. But it finds all the information for you so then you can go lay it out correctly. Make sure you're looking at your punctuation, your capitalizations, your italics, your underlining, which there's no underlining, okay? So make sure you don't underline. But make sure you're looking at all of that. I have it all laid out for you. Okay? Finally, appendix page. You will never use it, but just in my class, but if you use it for other classes, which you very well may because it's used a lot, but in this class you won't. Here it is, okay? Now, finally, if you have any questions, you can email me. You can do any of that. I have all this stuff posted. You can rewatch this, but if you need a little bit more clear, you can email me to ask me, or I recommend going to Purdue OWL. I have the link right here, okay? So you can copy and paste. Purdue OWL keeps up with APA rules. As APA changes, Purdue OWL updates all of that. So email me or go to Purdue OWL. If you have any questions about APA, let me know. Again, I'm not expecting you to be a perfectionist. APA is something that you have to learn to use. Now, what I am expecting is if I go on there and say, hey, don't forget to use Times New Roman, and in the next paper you submit, you did not use Times New Roman, you're going to get some points docked. So make sure you're using Times New Roman and everything like that. If I tell you to use it, hey, don't forget to use this, and then you do not use this in the next paper, then you're going to get an extra point stock. Please follow that. Follow the basic rules. Times New Roman, double space, 1-inch margins all the way around, 12-point font. Again, if you have any questions, email me or go to Purdue OWL website. You have a good day. Bye, guys.